It's 3:16 a.m. The house is silent. The world is asleep. But you are wide awake. Your heart is doing a strange little tap dance against your ribs, and your mind is racing through a to-do list from 6 years ago. If this sounds familiar, you're in the right place. By the time this is over, you will understand the three hidden reasons perimenopause is stealing your sleep, and you'll have a specific, actionable plan to get it back. And the most powerful strategy isn't about lavender pillows or chamomile tea. It's about a simple snack you can have right before bed. So get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of water, and we'll untangle this together. First, let's talk about the volcano in your bed. You know the feeling. 1 minute you're fine, the next you're throwing off the covers like they're on fire. These aren't just hot flashes happening at night. They're called night sweats, and they're profound sleep disruptors. Here's what's really going on. Your body's internal thermostat, a tiny region in your brain called the hypothalamus, is controlled by estrogen. During perimenopause, your estrogen levels start to ride a chaotic roller coaster with jarring peaks and sudden valleys. When estrogen drops, your hypothalamus gets confused. It mistakenly thinks your body is overheating, even when it isn't. So it triggers a massive cool down response. Your blood vessels dilate, and you start pouring out sweat. That sudden drenching, followed by the inevitable chill, is more than enough to yank you out of even the deepest sleep. The solution here isn't just to turn on a fan. You have to get strategic about creating a stable, cool microclimate around your body all night long. This starts with your fabrics. Cotton is okay, but it holds moisture. Materials like bamboo, tencel, or eucalyptus are far better because they actively wick moisture away from your skin, keeping you dry even if you do start to sweat. Think about your sheets, your pajamas, everything that touches you. The second piece is creating what I call a sleep sandwich you can easily deconstruct. A light duvet, a thin quilt, a top sheet. Layers are your best friend. Kicking off a single quilt is much easier and less disruptive than wrestling with a giant heavy comforter. But the real game changer is tackling the heat from below. Your mattress traps an incredible amount of body heat. A cooling mattress topper, one with gel-infused memory foam or phase change materials, can make a monumental difference. There's solid science here. A study from the University of Arizona found that even a 1 degree drop in core body temperature is a critical signal for your brain to initiate sleep. Perimenopause is actively fighting that signal. By controlling your external environment so precisely, you give your body the help it needs to ignore those faulty overheating alarms from your brain. It's the easiest, most immediate change you can make, and for many, it's a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay, so cooling your bedroom is a fantastic first step. But what happens when you're perfectly cool, dry, and comfortable, and still staring at the ceiling with your eyes wide open? This brings us to the second, deeper reason for your sleepless nights: the disappearance of your body's natural calming agent. I'm talking about progesterone. For decades, you probably only thought of progesterone as the hormone that shows up in the second half of your cycle to prepare for a potential pregnancy. But it does so much more. Progesterone is one of your brain's best friends. It has a powerful sedative like anti anxiety effect. It works by stimulating the GABA receptors in your brain. GABA is your primary calming neurotransmitter. It's the brake pedal for your brain. It tells your racing thoughts to slow down. Sound familiar? Many popular sleeping medications, like Ambien, work by targeting these exact same GABA receptors. Progesterone is your body's built in Ambien. And in perimenopause, it starts to vanish. It's often the very first hormone to decline, years before your periods stop for good. So you lose that gentle, calming influence that used to help you drift off to sleep and stay asleep. That feeling of being tired but wired, of having a low-grade hum of anxiety for no particular reason, that's often the signature of low progesterone. Your brain's brake pedal is gone. My client Sarah, a 44-year-old teacher, was convinced she developed a panic disorder out of nowhere. She was having heart palpitations at night and a sense of dread she couldn't shake. Her doctor offered her an antidepressant, but we looked at her cycle tracking app. Her absolute worst nights of insomnia and anxiety lined up perfectly with 10 days before her period, precisely when her progesterone should have been high, but was clearly plummeting instead. Seeing that data was a revelation for her. It wasn't a personality flaw. It wasn't a random mental health crisis. It was a predictable hormonal event. That knowledge alone reduced her anxiety by half. We then worked on supporting her GABA system with things like magnesium glycinate before bed, which is known to have a calming effect on the nervous system. The change wasn't overnight, but within 2 months, the nighttime panic was gone. If this is starting to click for you and you're feeling a little less like you're losing your mind, a quick subscribe helps me continue making these videos. We're about to cover the final and most important piece of the sleep puzzle. All right, we've covered temperature and we've covered the progesterone plunge. But now we need to talk about the real reason you're waking up with a jolt at 3 a.m. heart pounding. This is the one that changes everything. It's not your thermostat, and it's not just about your calming hormones. It's about your blood sugar. Here's how it works. During the day, you eat periodically, which keeps your blood glucose levels relatively stable. But at night, you're fasting. Over several hours, your blood sugar naturally begins to drop. If it drops too low, your body perceives this as a stress signal, a mini emergency. In response, your adrenal glands pump out stress hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline, to tell your liver to release stored glucose and bring your blood sugar back up. Cortisol is your body's built-in alarm clock. Its natural rhythm is to be lowest at night and then surge in the morning to wake you up. But a sharp dip in blood sugar overnight triggers an emergency cortisol release right in the middle of your sleep cycle. So at 3 a.m., instead of being sound asleep, you are suddenly flooded with your primary wake up now hormone. Your eyes fly open. Your heart is racing from the adrenaline. Your mind is instantly active. You've been jolted awake, not by a noise or a nightmare, but by your own internal stress response. During perimenopause, this gets so much worse because the hormonal chaos makes your body less resilient to stress and more prone to insulin resistance, making these blood sugar crashes more frequent and more severe. So, what is the solution? It's beautifully simple, and for many people, it feels completely counterintuitive. You need to have a small, strategic snack about 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed. And not just any snack. It needs to contain a balance of high quality protein, healthy fat, and a small amount of complex carbohydrates. This combination provides a slow release source of energy throughout the night. It creates a gentle, stable blood sugar curve instead of a cliff. A spoonful of almond butter, a small apple with a handful of walnuts, or a few bites of a plain Greek yogurt can be enough to prevent that 3 a.m. glucose crash and the cortisol surge that follows. A 2023 review published in the journal Maturitas connected this dysregulated cortisol rhythm directly to the sleep fragmentation seen in midlife women. It's a vicious cycle. Hormonal changes disrupt blood sugar, which spikes cortisol, which fragments sleep, which then further dysregulates your hormones. Breaking that cycle with a simple bedtime snack can be the single most effective strategy you employ. That feeling of being jolted awake isn't a sign of anxiety. It's a sign of a fuel crisis. It's a biological alarm system you can disarm with a few bites of the right food. Think about that for a second. So, there you have it. A real plan. You're going to cool your environment with breathable fabrics and layers. You're going to understand and support your body through the progesterone dips. And most importantly, you're going to stabilize your blood sugar to prevent that 3 a.m. cortisol alarm. We didn't just list sleep tips. We dissected the physiological reasons you can't sleep so you can finally target the cause, not just the symptom. You're not broken and you're not going crazy. Your body is navigating a profound transition and it just needs the right support. If you got value from this, please share it with a friend or sister who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because I have so much more to share with you.